I'm Joyce. Today is August 18th, and I'm at the park as per usual. That's likely occurrence. I'm gonna go straight into it. Like, honestly, today I'm kind of like pissed off because I got a kind of troll comment on one of my TikToks, and I was pretty happy. I was pretty proud of this. It wasn't anything like super like involved that I had to do, like anything like high effort, but I was pretty proud of this TikTok because I like had made the connection in my head, and I felt really inspired to like record the TikTok like upon like thinking about it. So I was just like, okay, like, you know, you hear like advice here and there. It's like, okay, create when you have upon you getting the momentum of you wanting to create something. So I'm like, oh my god, like this is perfect. Like I'm gonna create something, you know, that feels in line with like the energy that I'm coming from. Anyway, and in essence, the video was how in today's like when we talk, there's that word chat, right? And that word chat that pertains to, you know, hey chat, like the Twitch stream kind of thing, or hey chat as in ChatGPT. And I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting how, like, you know, that's kind of a popular term today in like our lexicon. Big words. But just like kind of pointing that out, and I was like, yeah, you know, this is my observation. And I made like a little quip, funny jokey joke at the end where it's like, when are we going to start, you know, relying on the chat within within the chat within yeah, you know, when you retell a joke and it just sucks, like, yeah, that's the vibe of these first 2 minutes. If you got past it, Jesus, good on you. You're a very patient person. But anyway, I made that video. I was like pretty proud of the concept of like, oh wow, I'm really clever. And I got a bunch of like snark, which is fine. Like, you know, sometimes there are videos, sometimes there's creations that you make that you like don't give a shit about like the criticism that comes about it. Like, you turn in an assignment, you gotta be on it when you put in like C effort. Okay, cool. Like, I got a B on it. You know, I made a trash TikTok and I got 300 views when honestly, like, I know that it was bad. Like, it shouldn't have been seen by anyone. But in this case, it's like you put in the effort and you feel like you do all the right things, and then you're like, oh wait, actually, I feel like I'm going even more backwards than I was before, because I checked all the boxes. Like, you know, I executed upon having the idea. I was excited, you know, the words rolled off my tongue and whatever. And it's one of those cases where it's like, okay, I did everything right. What happened here? And the snark comment that got me the most pissed off, like to the point where I genuinely had to go take a walk to like regulate and to center myself and to realize, literally like touch grass, like the world is beyond the internet. But it was just like the fact that someone was like, oh no, I don't think, you know, they were just like downplay. Some of the comments were pretty like generous with the idea. They were like, yeah, sure, I can see how you could say that, but I think it just refers to the Twitch chat reference more than anything. And then this one guy is like, no, you're wrong, it doesn't pertain to ChatGPT at all, it doesn't reference ChatGPT. And I was like, be fucking for real, like matching his energy, because he was kind of snarky. I was like, be fucking for real, like it's a double entendre at this point. And he's like, in the nicest way possible, what does entendre mean? And oh, like, come on, like, and like those are fighting words. And I know, like, sure, maybe to you, the viewer, you're like, oh, what a snarky comment, like what a playful person who's trying to do something there, trying to do his big one. But it just really got to me, and there are just some things that really get to you sometimes, like you don't know when they'll press that button or not. And so in this case, that did it for me. And then I literally pulled a screenshot of Merriam-Webster's, and I was like, it literally says here that double entendre can refer to something, you know, innuendo-esque or just like risque-esque, have that kind of double meaning, or get this, it can just be a double meaning, period. And that's how I learned double entendre as a literary device back in fucking high school. And I remember to this day. And I'm making this whole video to like justify it, like you know, I'm definitely like there's a part of me that's hurt by it. And at the same time, you know, in my reflection, in quelling myself and my feelings from that situation, I'm just thinking like, I don't think the internet knows what it wants sometimes. And I also think that the internet's really stupid a lot of the time. And I think it's fine to believe that, especially as a creator, and come to that realization and know that the first 300 people that your TikTok probably gets to are probably really stupid people. And no offense, but it's not even like, they might not even be stupid in the sense it's like they are like illiterate, and this is not to be classist or anything, oh my god, but just again, me trying to like pad the backlash that could come from this. But it's one of those things where it's like, one, they could be ignorant, let's use ignorant in the sense that they're not even paying attention to your video in the way that you wanted them to. And two, and you're never ever gonna make them pay attention. You'll probably have to use hooks and all these kind of like audience psychology, viral video hacking things. And I mean, who speaks in hooks? Like, I know that we're taught to have a thesis statement and then the supporting evidence and then conclude at the very end. But at the same time, when you're having a conversation with somebody, when you're on FaceTime with somebody, it's never going to be okay, let me start my part of this conversation. My thesis sentence is, duh. And then, you know, I'm sure naturally that's how the conversation flow goes. But this is just so, like, I'm trying to justify myself and, like, you know, other creators that are upon the journey of wanting to be more involved in creation and then feeling so insecure because shit like that happens. And it doesn't say anything about you. It says 100 things about that person and not you. Because that person, he took the time out of his, mind you, this person has like 5K followers. Like, I'm on TikTok with 600, like, I'm nobody. And this guy's taking time out of his day to comment, no, you're wrong. And then I tell him, actually, no, this is like where I'm coming from. And he's like, you're still wrong, even though I'm literally right. He's telling me I'm wrong when I'm right. Yeah, annoying. And I just came from listening to one of the master classes by a creator I freaking love. Her name is Kitty Noor. And wait, Kitty Knorr. Yeah, so the K is, sorry. She watches this, she's probably going to laugh. Kitty Noor, I think. And so she sent one of her master classes my way because I asked like for a link, like it was like on a topic about like attraction and attracting what you want kind of things. And I definitely think I'm coming to the creation space with very insecure energy. I know that. I'm so self-aware, it's painful. And in me saying that, I could be just so completely not self-aware. But I want there to be a shift. Ooh, this is what I wanted the second part of this video to be. Okay, I'm gonna talk more about astrology in my next video that I think I'll publish after this one, because my brain's just going, like, you know. But with the upcoming, we're currently in, what do I want to say about this? There's an upcoming full moon in Virgo. No, that's not right. New moon in Virgo, that's it. There's an upcoming new moon in Virgo. I'm not going to clip this. I'm not going to edit this at all. You're just going to see it all. And yeah, I want to honor that date, honor that energy. I want to set intentions for that time, definitely. Because Virgo's a lot about getting your shit together, you know, mastering routines, abiding by the facts. And so I think I've been going about a lot of this creation with content, with my own like personal projects and ventures. Like, we are creators of our life and universe, right? So I've been going about it with a lot of insecure energy, and I know that. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if I can just get over myself and get over this insecurity and know that, yes, I'm still gonna go, like, I'm still gonna feel scared doing this content thing. I'm still gonna feel, you know, doubtful that I'm not like hitting all the marks and everything. If I can get past that and get to the point where it's like, I just need to get it done, and I need to get it done in a way that's efficient and that, you know, gets the results that I want. Because I think, going back to a point I mentioned in a previous video, we construct labyrinths around the things that we want, and sometimes these labyrinths, they're like the material that they're made out of, we don't even realize that we're in a labyrinth. And it's like, okay, I'm in a labyrinth of my literal emotions because I can't get past my own like maze of insecurity to get to the piece of content that I'm actually trying to produce in the end, where I'm articulating something coherently, clearly, and then I am editing, I am actually dedicating time, even though maybe I do feel tired or I don't feel energetically inclined to edit. I still am editing because I know that this is an effective way to output this content so that the messaging appeals and tracks for attention as much as possible. And then from that, I know that, sending this piece of content to my friends who I think would like it or benefit from it would actually benefit my experience in the end, even though I might feel scared and like shy to share this piece of content because, it might not match one-to-one to who they are as a person, but I know that there's like an element that they might like about it. So, yeah. Just figuring out what that looks like beyond, like, what would your content look like if you weren't insecure of, one, failing, but two, if you weren't insecure of certain people seeing it. Like, how are you filtering yourself? How are you limiting yourself to the point where your content is coming off like inefficiently? Where it's like you are starting a fight in your comment section, even though you're like, oh wow, what a quirky realization, even though like people are fighting about what you're meaning in the comments. Oh my god. I just think the internet's an interesting place, and attention is so divided nowadays that it gets to a point where it's something you really have to fight for. I, on the other hand, I feel like I have attention to spare because my job, how I go about my 9 to 5 is, it's one of those things where I can have a separate media that I'm intaking. So I love podcasts lately, or I love listening to albums on length, or because it's a lot of repetitive tasks at certain points that I go about. And I want to talk bad about my job. I'm not talking bad about my job. I love my job. God. But it's this video's a mess. I hate this video. I don't want to post it. But it's going to be posted. I mean, even YouTubers back in the day knew to edit their shit too when it didn't make sense like this. Like, I imagine Tana Mojo being like, I'm making no sense. And then her going back and having to edit it, or Emma Chamberlain. Oh my god. The gods of YouTube past. I love those creators, and I really do think they set a precedent in maintaining our attention and facilitating this really engaging storytelling experience. But now I think about modern, like, it's interesting, like, I think about modern day entertainment and intake, and it's almost like videos like this, I'll see videos as unfiltered as possible, and this is like a kind of rebellion from the fast-paced, attention psychology hacked like video that you're watching for 15 seconds on TikTok and then on to the next. Even Taylor Swift herself has said that she modeled the Eras Tour to reflect almost like an algorithm where you're just scrolling through the eras, one thing's happening and then the next and then the next, and there's always something to pay attention to. And with media like this, for me to record, I'm definitely sitting in the embarrassment. Oh my god. Sometimes I wonder if this would be easier in like New York City, because there's just a lot more people like going about their days and not giving a shit. But no, I think I'd still feel equally as scared. I am going to wrap up this video, and I'm going to record the Virgo new moon. It's a new moon. It's not a full moon. It's a new moon. I'm going to record my thoughts on that and energetic intentions, predictions. I mean, I love astrology TikTok. It's one of my guilty pleasures that isn't even a guilty pleasure because I'm not guilty about it. But yeah, no, this is this video. On to the next. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.